कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनतीरा वनचारी यमुनतीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Jai Gaura Pramanande. Reading from the Transcendental Diary by His Grace Arishwari Prabhu. Continuing the subject matter from the February 20th, 1976. Srila Prabhupada sent me down to the temple at 9 a.m. to see whether many visitors had gathered for the coming program in honor of his Guru Maharaj. To my surprise, the temple was empty. Prabhupada then called for Hridayananda Goswami to discuss why there were no visitors yet on such an important day. Hridayananda Maharaj said that it was probably due to the fact that the general public are not aware of the occasion. The festival had obviously not been well advertised because at Gaur Purnima, tens of thousands of people come here during the festival week. Prabhupada wasn't very satisfied. He thought more should have been done to attract the public. After an early message, Prabhupada went down to the temple room at 11 a.m. He offered his obeisances to the large painting of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur that had been placed on the Vyasasan. He seemed very satisfied to see the beautiful decoration. There were long, multicolored drapes of ankhs along the back wall, as well as strands of marigolds wrapped around the Vyasasan, and banana trees and leaves were placed all around. Moving to the front of the Vyasasan area, he sat comfortably on an asana on the floor with his back to the jali work fence. Achyutananda Swami sang songs glorifying Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, notably O He Vaishnava Thakur. Afterward, Prabhupada gave a wonderful lecture requesting the devotees to do two things: help develop Mayapur and distribute many books. He said this was his Guru Maharaj's desire. His Guru Maharaj's father, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, had rediscovered the birth site of Lord Chaitanya, and it was his attempt to develop it. Then Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur continued the effort. Now he and his god brothers were also doing what they could. We have got great ambition to develop this place nicely and gloriously, and fortunately we are now connected with the foreign countries, especially the Americans. Bhaktivinoda Thakur's great desire was that the American would come here and have developed this place, and they would chant and dance along with the Indians. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye Nastaprayesu Abhadresu Nityam Bhagavatam Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naisikhe. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is very meant of concourse, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayana, unto Nara Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author, by regular attendance in classes on Srimad Bhagavatam, and by rendering of service unto the pure devotees of the Lord. All that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the Personality of Godhead, whose praise with transcendental song is established as an irrevocable fact. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 7, Text 25, chapter entitled Indra Offends Brihaspati. Tad Visvarupam Bhajata Suvipram. Tad Visvarupam Bhajata Suvipram. Tapas Vinam Twastram Madatmavantam. Tapas Vinam Twastram Madatmavantam. Sabhajito Ridhansa Vidyasyatavo. Sabhajito Ridhansa Vidyasyatavo. Yadi Samisyadvam Mutasya Karma. Yadi Samisyadvam Mutasya Karmam. Tadvisvarupam Bhajata Suvipram. Tapas Vinam Twastram Adatmavantam. Sabhajito Radhansa Vinasyatevo. Yadik Samisyadvam Utasya Karmam.
Vishvarupam Bhajata Suvikram.
Vishvarupam Bhajata Suvikram.
Vishvarupam Vajasta Suvipram Tapasvinam Tvastamata Atmavantam Vajati Tota Savidasya Devo Yadikshami Syadvam Yadvam Mutasya Karma
Vishvarupam bhajata suvipram tapasvinam vastram atmatmavantam sabhajito rikhans savikasyatevo yadi kshami syatvam utasya karma
Vishvarupam Bhajata Suvipram Tapasvinam Tvastram Athatmavantam Sabhajitoritam Savidasyatevo Yadi Kshamiyasya Udhasya Karma
Mataji.
Vishvarupam Bhajata Suvipram Tapasvinam Tvastam Atmatvanam Bhajitoritam Savithasya Devo Yadi Kshamisyatam Udhasya Karma
Vishvarupam Bhajata Suvipram Tapasvinam Tvastam Atatmavantam Sabhajitoritam Savithasya Devo Yadi Kshamisyatam Udhasya Karma Vishvarupam Bhajata Suvipram Tapasvinam Tvastam Ahatmavantam Sabhajitoritam Savithasya Devo Kshamisyatam Udhasya Karma
Therefore, Vishvarupam Vishvarupa Bhajata, just worship as Guru. Also, immediately, Vipra, who's a perfect Brahmana, Tapasvina, undergoing great austerities and penances, Twastram, the son of Twasta, Ada, as well as Atmavantam, very independent, Sabhajita, being worshipped. Arthan, the interest. Sa, E, vidasyate, will execute. Va, of all of you. Yadi, if. Samis yadvam, you tolerate. Uta, indeed. Asya, is. Karma, activities to support the daityas. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation, O demigods, I instruct you to approach Vishwarup, the son of Twasta, and accept him as your guru. He is a pure and very powerful Brahmana, undergoing austerity and penances. Please, by your worship, you will fulfill your desires, provided that you tolerate his being inclined to the side of the demons. Purport. Lord Brahma advised the demigods to accept the son of Twasta as their spiritual master, although he was always inclined toward the benefit of the asuras. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnanananjano Salakaya Chaksuranmulitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhisam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Gurun Sri Yutapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sangrajatam Sahagano Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadotam Parijana Saidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakan Vitam Shah He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhano Sudhe Devi Pranamami Aripriye Vanchakalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Tad Visvarupam Bhujata Suvipram Tapasvinam Twastram Adatmavantam Sabhajito Litansa Vidasyato Yade samsayatvam utasya karma. O demigod, I instruct you to approach Vishwarup, the son of Twasta, and accept him as your guru. He is a pure and very powerful Brahmana, undergoing austerity and penances. Pleased by your worship, he will fulfill your desire, provided that you tolerate his being inclined to the side of the demons. So here we are continuing the subject matter of the Indra offense, Brihaspati, where there is the battle between the demigods and demons. So always in the material world, there are always going to be demons and always going to be the devotees. In the creation of the Lord, there are two kinds of being are here. That has been mentioned in the chapter 16, text 6. Dvaubhutau sargo lokesmin daivam asuram mevacha daivam vitaratas pruktam asuram partha mechrinom. There are two kinds of a being are there, the demons and divine. Daivi sampar vimukshaya nibhandaya asuram mata masucha sampadam daivim abhijatosi pandava. The chapter 16, text 5, Krishna explains the quality of the divine is very conducive for the self-realization, but the demoniac qualities, it puts one into more entanglement of life. But my dear Pandavas, you belongs to the divine qualities. So it's very important for us to understand there are divine in the world, there are demons in the world. Only way you make progress towards the Krishna consciousness, towards going back to Krishna, is by developing your divine qualities within you. And what are the symptoms of the divine quality also has been explained in the chapter 16, 1 onward. Abhayam Sattvam Samsuddhir Jnana Yoga Vyavasthita Dhanam Damascha Yagyam Cha Svajayam Tapam Arjavam Ahimsa Satyam Akrodha Tyaga Chantir Apaisunam Daya Bhutesu Alolubvam Madhavam Ari Achapalam Teja Samadriti Saucham Adroha Nati Manita Bhavanti Sampadam Dhaivim Abhijatosi Pandavam. The symptom of the divine quality is that Abhayam, those who are in the divine quality, the devotees of the Lord, they are always remain very fearless in the world. And their existence are purified by the knowledge of Krishna consciousness. And they are very charitable, they are very self-controlled, and they are ready to perform sacrifice, and they are Dhanam Dhamascha Yagyasa Swadhyayam Tapamarjam. Swadhyayam means they always read the Vedic literatures. Tapam, they are very austerity. Saucham, they are very clean inside and outside. And they are very free from any kinds of violence. And they are always very truthful. And they are free from anger. And they are very renounced, and they are very peaceful. Tyaga Santi Apaisunam. Apaisunam means they do not find fault in anybody's around. Daya Bhutesu Alolubdvam, they are very kind to every living being. And Alolubdvam, they are not greedy in the world. In this way, they also become very determined on the path of Krishna consciousness, and they are very enthusiastic all the time in the path of Krishna consciousness. Dhiti Sama, they are very forgivable. Dhiti Sama. And they also very Dhiti Sama Tapa Saucham, that they always remain very pure in their existence, and they do not expect any respect from anybody, they are not envy of anybody. So these are the more or less 23 or 29 qualities has been explained by Krishna, those who are having this divine quality in themselves. And Krishna also explains about those who are having a demoniac quality, Dambo, Darpo, Bemanascha, Krodam, Parusyam, Evacha, Agyanam, Chabijatasya, Partha Sampadim Asurim. In the chapter 16, text 4, Krishna explained those who are very demoniac, they're very proud about themselves and they're very arrogant and they're always boasting about themselves. Dambo, Dharpa, Bhimanasha, Krodam, they're always very angry and they're always very harsh in their communication with the people and they remain ignorant in this world. Pravritim cha nivartim cha janana vidur asura na saucham napi chacharo na satyam te suvidyate. He said those who are demoniac, they do not know what is to be done, what is not to be done. They do not find any exemplary character from them. They are always very untruthful, they are very unclean. Asatyam apratistam ta jagat ahur aniswaram aparasparam samyukte kimanya kamahaitukam. Those who are demoniac, they say there is no foundation of any kind in the material world. Asatyam apratistam ta jagat ahur aniswaram aparasparam samyuktam. They believe everything in the world is a creation of the sense gratification, sexual desires. Itam dristi avastabhya nastamano alpabuddhayam prabhavati ugra karmanam jagato yathachitha. These people, those are very demoniac, they indulge themselves in a very horrible work. They indulge in a work how to destroy the creation of Krishna in the world. Asa pasa satir bada kama kroda parayana yante kama bogartan anyayena tasanchayan. Idam madhya maya labham emam prapse manoradam idam asilam api me bhavishyati punardhanam. Asa pasa, they got unlimited desires in themselves and they ready to do anything to fulfill their own desire. They got money, they always look for more wealth. They got land, they always look for more land. They got houses, they always look for more and more and more and more. And anybody comes in between to check on them, they don't mind to kill them for their material desires. Ahankara baladarpam kama kroda cha samsrita mamatma paradharesu pravisanto yasuyaka. In the chapter 16, 18, Krishna explained that due to their ahankar, false ego, they disregard the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is reciting in their own heart. And they wanted to fight with their own self to disregard the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is seated in his own heart. Tan aham dusita kruram samsare so naradamam sipami ajasram asubam asuram yoni evasu. Due to their mischievousness, due to their enviousness toward the Supreme Personality of Godhead, slowly they've been pushed into the hellish condition of life. Asuram eva yonesu muda janmane janmane mama prapyam. Beautifully Krishna explains, slowly these people are pushed into the hellish condition of life. They take birth among the lower species of life, like animals. Trividam narakasyedam dwaram nasanam atmanaham kama krodha tada lobha tasmat ita kadyam tajhet. The chapter 16, 21, Krishna said there are 3 gates leading to the hellish planet, and they are the kama, different type of desires, krodha, anger, and lobha, greediness. Eter vimukta kaunteya tamo dware tribirnara. And he says that slowly those who are wanted to remain as divine, they should come out from these three gates of hellish life, which is the kama, krodha and lobha. And the symptom, somebody who is coming out, they're already out from the different kinds of material desire, anger and greediness. The symptom is that they get attracted to the process of self-realization. So in this way, Krishna explains the two different kinds of people in the world. There is nobody else. There is no white, there is no black, there is no brown, there is no dog or cat or anything in the world. It's not short or tall, educated, uneducated, rich, poor. There is no any that kind of discrimination. Only discrimination is there. Only two kinds of people. One is good people, another one is bad people. There was a grandfather, he was telling the story to the grandsons, He said there are two animals fighting inside somebody's body. One is good animal, another one is bad animal. They are fighting. And the grandson asked the grandfather, Grandpa, which animal will win the fight? The good animal will win or the bad animal will win? Grandfather said, whichever animal you take care. Whichever animal you feed them, you give water, you take care, that animal will win the battle. So that is how the system in the material world. Beautifully Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita chapter 13, 21, 22, 23. Karya karna karitritve hetu prakrtir uchyate purusa sukha dukhanam bhuktaritve hetu uchyate. Whatever happens in the material world, the nature is said to be the cause of all the action. Whatever happens in oneself is the cause for his own suffering and his own enjoyment. Purusa prakriti soye bhungte prakriti jangunan karanam guna sangasya sat asadyo ni janmasu. Sat means good, asad means bad. Good and bad in people's life comes according to their association. So Prabhupada insisted that always we should be in the association of the devotees. Prabhupada was telling a story how in this Ganges river there were two pots of floating on the Ganges river. One container is made of the metal, another one is made of the earth, and both are flowing. And they're flowing, then the metal container, he told the earth container, you come close to me, I will protect you. But the earth container, Prabhupada says, a Hare Krishna container, very intelligent. Earth container says, if I come close to you, it will be damage on me. If you come close to me, it will be damage on me. So better we always remain separate. So either you go close to the non-devotees, the damage on you. Either they come close to you, on damage on you. Always we have to make sure there is requirement to go closer. We go closer. When there is no requirement to go closer, we always stay in the association of the devotees. It's very, very important for us to understand these things. Just like here, the demigods and the demons, there's a great competition is going on who is going to be very powerful. So there is the competition in the material world. Everybody is competing. Prabhupada says the animal compete among each other to show which one is very powerful. The two dogs come together. They wanted to fight. They wanted to establish their power. And he said the animals are fighting, to show their power. The human beings are fighting. The nations are fighting. The world is fighting. Everybody in the world is fighting among each other. They wanted to show their supremacy against other people in the world. He says in this way, Prabhupada says there are two kinds of living beings in the world. Prabhupada says there are two kinds of envious people in the world. There are two kinds of envious people. One is the snake, another one is human being. He says the snake is very dangerous, very envious, and the human being also very envious and very dangerous. Between the snake and human being, the human being are more dangerous than the snake. Because the snake, you can tame the snake, you can bring the snake under your control by chanting of some mantra. But the human being, the consciousness, is very developed through different modern education, and then they become more dangerous than the snake. He said devotees are not envious because devotees don't compete with anybody in the world. Devotee's goal is not this material world to compete with anybody. Devotee's goal is this spiritual world. And devotees do not compete with anybody, any other devotees, because they help each other, because their goal is same. The only goal is to achieve Krishna consciousness, and he works with another devotees how to help each other to go back to abode of Krishna. So in this way, Prabhupada was telling that, the devotees always, when they see somebody more higher, more better than them, if they are doing more better than them, the devotee very happy that somebody is doing more better Hare Krishna than him. If you are chanting 16 rounds and somebody is chanting 32 rounds, you don't become envious. You admire that person. Oh, he can chant 32 rounds. True or not? A devotee always, appreciate, and then, they admire somebody doing more better than him in Krishna consciousness. And when he sees somebody equals to them, he is very happy for him, and then he becomes his friend. And when he sees somebody more lower than him, and then he becomes very compassionate to that person, he tries to help him out. So the devotee acts in a different way in this world. They become happy when they see somebody doing better. They become friend when somebody is doing equal. They become very compassionate to somebody who is doing a little bit lesser. But the karmi in the outside world, when they see somebody who is doing more better, they want to finish them off. And when they see somebody doing equal, they think, oh, I'm more better than that guy. And when they see somebody more lower than them, they want to dominate them, they want to control them. Somewhere or other, they manipulate everything for their own selfish interest. So in this way, Prabhupada says, better for the devotees all the time remain in the association of a devotee. That will make a very good progress in Krishna consciousness. Narottam Das Thakur, he has written a song. He says, Ganga re parsa hoye, pashite pavan, darshana pavitra karo e tumharo ghan. Narottam Das Thakur says that, when you go and take bath in the Ganga, many times taking bath in the Ganga, you become purified. But by the association of the pure devotees of the Lord, even for a moment of association, pure devotees of the Lord, immediately you become satisfied in your life. When Vidura was met by Yudhishthira Maharaj told Vidura Bhagavad Bhagavatas Tirtha Bhuta Swayam Vibhuti Kutvanti Tirthani Swantastena Gada Britha. In the Canto 1, Chapter 3, Text 13, this is the Vidura. Yudhishthira Maharaj told Vidura that you are the very place of the Holy Dham pilgrimage. Wherever you are going, you are making that place as a pilgrimage because you carry Krishna in your heart all the time. So wherever you go, that place becomes a pilgrimage. When Sutta Goswami came to meet the sages in the Namasran forest, aided by Saunaka Rishi. Saunaka Rishi, when he saw Sutta Goswami was coming, he told that Swamna Sandarsito Datra Dustaram Nistiti Satam Kali Satum Arapumsam Karnadara Ivarnavam. Saunaka Rishi says, my dear Sutta Goswami, it's only by the arrangement of the providence that you have, visiting our land, and you have come here as a captain of this boat, and by your mercy we will cross over the influence of Kali Yuga. So only devotee can make progress, can come out from the demoniac condition of life, go into the divine environment, only by the devotees, by the mercy of Krishna's devotee. Brahmanda, Brahmita Kona, Bhagyavan Jiva, Guru Krishna Prasade Pai, Bhakti Latha Bija. For many, many lifetimes we are wandering, this Brahmanda 14 material planetary system, going up and down. By the mercy of Krishna, you get a spiritual master. By the mercy of a spiritual master, you get Krishna again. In this way, you can cross over all the obstacles of life by the mercy of a Vaishnava. And Vaishnava is very kind, and they are always very ready to serve any other people in the world. Very beautifully Chaitanya Mahaprabhu have explained. Before that, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, into Canto 3, Chapter 25, Text 20, Kapiladev told his mother Devahuti, Prasangam ajara pasam atmanam kavayo virosayeva sadhusakrito mokshadwaram upavritam. He says that generally attachment to the material world is not good. It will bring in more bondage and entanglement. But if the same attachment can be diverted to the Vaishnavas, pure devotees of the Lord, that attachment to the devotees of the Lord will free one from the entanglement of life. And further he says that, satam prasangam mama veri sammido bhavanti rihit karna rasayana kada. In the Canto 3, Chapter 25, Text 25, further it has been explained, when you hear the subject matter of Krishna consciousness in the association of the sadhu, the devotees of the Lord, that brings in more pleasure in your heart and your hearing. And that hearing gives, more faith in Krishna, and then it brings more devotion towards Krishna. When you are sitting and hearing in the association of the devotees of this Bhagavad Katha, that gives you more faith in Krishna, gives you more devotion in Krishna, and makes your heart very pleasant, very happy. Your hearing become more pleasant. So in this way, Vaishnavas are not, ordinary human beings. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains the Vaishnava means he should have 26 qualities. Lakshanam Bhakti Yoga said there are 4 kinds of devotional service to the Lord. There are devotional service in the mode of ignorance, there are devotional service in the mode of passionate, there are devotional service in the mode of goodness, there are devotional service on the transcendental platform. And in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 29, Text 8, Text 9, Text 10, Text 11, these things has been explained. It's been said there, Abhisandhaya yoyim sam dambam matsaryam evava sambrahmibhina drigbhavam mayukuryate sattamasa. Those who are doing devotional service in the mode of ignorance, is that dhambo means they're very proud about themselves. Abhisandhaya yoyim sam dambo matsaryam. Imsa means they're very violent. They are devotees, they perform bhakti. Sometimes they are chanting Hare Krishna, sometimes they are doing puja, sometimes they are doing something in Krishna consciousness, but you try to advise them, they may become violent. You cannot tell this person anything. If you tell them, Prabhu, you are not chanting properly, then he may look at you and say, do you think what, you are chanting better? Then you want to tell him, never mind, sit properly, you think what, you sit better? So whenever we wanted to advise somebody, then they become very angry, sambrahmi. So those who are devotees performing devotional service in the mode of ignorance, they are, very violent, they are very proud, and they are very envious about other devotees, and they are very angry. Easily they get angry. This is devotional service in the mode of ignorance. Visayana visandaya yasa aisvaryam evava archadev archayo eva prataksata rajasa. As a rajasa bhakti, that's a devotional service in the mode of passionate, is that they got so much of desire in themselves. Pratak means they're separatists. They got a separate interest other than interest of Krishna. They may come to the temple because they may think they got a lot of problem in life. So they come to the temple for some interest, and somebody may be sitting in the temple, they may be planning to become a temple president, they may be planning to become a commander, they may be planning to look for a beautiful girl to marry, they may have their separate interests than others other than Krishna. So that, always, they got their personal interest in what they are doing. They are known as the separatist devotees who are in the mode of passionate. Karma nirharam uddesya. Then the person who are in the mode of goodness, doing bhakti in the mode of goodness, they also got some interest. The interest is that somewhere or other I'm suffering in the world due to my karma, so I must do everything to finish off my karma. Whether he is doing puja, whether he is offering, whether he is singing anything, he thinks that by somewhere or other it's my duty to come out from this suffering by performance of a good karma. And beautifully Kapildev says that Lakshanam Bhakti Yogasya Nirgunasya Udaritam Ahaituki Avyaviyata Ya Bhakti Purusottamam. The bhakti, the devotional service which is transcendental beyond these modes of material nature, Nirgunasya, they are beyond of this material nature, that they don't have any interest into their performer. The only interest is that somewhere or other they have to please Krishna in their performance of bhakti towards Krishna. Sarupya, Salupya, Saristi, Samipya, Katvam, Apivuta. That a devotee who is performing bhakti sincerely for the pleasure of Krishna is not even interested in any kinds of Sarupya, liberation, or Saloka, Sariti is not interested in any kinds of liberation. Only interested Sevanam Bhakti Vinama. They always interested, how can I do more service for Krishna? How can I do more service for Krishna? Always is seeking for the service of Krishna. So, Ya Bhakti Purushottama means Krishna comes here to teach us this bhakti which is only favorable towards Krishna consciousness. There is no contamination in this bhakti by the three modes of material nature. So somewhere or other we have to look into the system, and if you got time today, you read the Canto 3, Chapter 29, text 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 onwards. Very beautiful, information been given in that chapter. And Vaishnavas, Mahaprabhu said, the Lakshanam, the ornaments of the Vaishnava is the quality of a Vaishnava. There are two kinds of Vaishnavas here. One is called Abhyandaram, another one is called Bhavyam. Abhyandaram means he is an inner devotee. And inner devotee means that bhakti is accompanied by jnana and vairagya. A true devotee, he has got bhakti, jnanam and vairagyam. Bhakti means devotion, jnana means knowledge, vairagya means detachment. That he knows what is bhakti, and he practices bhakti with knowledge, not blindly he is practicing bhakti. And then detachment, he takes what is favorable for bhakti, discards what is unfavorable for bhakti. This is Abhyandaram. A true devotee is that he got bhakti, jnanam, vairagyam. There's another kind of devotee is called Bhavyam, that he externally he got the symbol of a devotee. He got the tilak on his body, he has got neck beads around his neck, he got a chanting bag, he got the dress of a Vaishnava, but he don't have knowledge and detachment is, good for talking and talking and talking. Externally he looks a kind of devotee, but internally he don't have that kind of, knowledge and detachment. Vairagya vidya nija bhakti yogam. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu coming to this world to give us that real bhakti, real devotion, bhakti, jnanam, vairagyam. And that is the ornaments of the devotees. That means Mahaprabhu told Sanatana Goswami there are 26 qualities of a Vaishnava. If somebody you see whether they are Vaishnava or not, you don't judge them by the external appearance, whether how nicely they put on their tilak, how nicely they are wearing the dhoti. You have to see whether they have imbibed the quality of a devotee. Just like a policeman, whether how nicely he dress a police uniform, that is a secondary matter. The prime matter is that he is not taking a bribe from anybody. The moment a policeman taking bribe is not qualified to be a policeman, even he has got, any position or any uniform. Similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says the Vaishnavas, Lakshanam, ornaments of a real devotee is that he has got these 26 qualities. Starts from Kripalu, Akirta Droha, Satya Sara Sama, Nirosa Vadanyaya, Mridu Suchi Akinchana, Sarvapakaraka Santa Krishna Ki Charana, Akama Aniya Stira, Vijita Sarguna Mitabuk Apramat, Manada Amani Gambira, Karuna Maitra Kavi, Dakshat Mauni. Kripalu, number one quality of a Vaishnava is that they are very kind. Number two, Akirita Droha, devotees do not waste their time quarreling with anybody. Satya Sara, devotees are very honest, very truthful. Sama, they are equal to everybody in the world. Nidosa, they are very faultless. Vadanyaya, they are very mild in their action. Vadanyaya is very magnanimous. Mridu, they are very mild. Mridu, Suchi, Akinchana. Suchis, they are very clean inside and outside. Akinchana, devotees are very simple. Mridu, Suchi, Akinchana. Sarvapakaraka, Santa Krishna Kichan. Sarvapakaraka is that they do welfare work for everybody in the world. They think about the welfare of everybody in the world. Santa, the devotees are very peaceful. Krishna Kicharana, they have surrendered to Krishna. These are the first 12 qualities. The 13 is that Akama Aniya Stira. Akama, they do not anchor for any material thing here. They are not anchoring for anything. Akama Aniya. And they are different from the material acquisition. Akama, there is no material desires. And Haniya, they also not anchoring for anything in the world. Stira, they are very steady in the path of Krishna consciousness. Akama Haniya, Vidita Sarguna Metabuk Apramat, they are able to control the bad qualities, which is very not good for Krishna consciousness. Vidita Metabuk, they eat very moderately. Apramata, they have got all the saintly qualities. Manada, Hamani, Gambira, devotees always respect everybody in the world. Amani, they do not expect, wait for anybody's respecting them. Gambira, they are very grave. Karuna, Maitra, Kavi, they are very compassionate. Maitra, they are very friendly. Kavi, when they speak, they speak very politely. They got like a poetic, people like to hear more and more from the devotees. And Daksha, 25th quality is the Daksha. Devotees are very expert. They can clean the temple, they can mop the temple, they can wash the toilet. You ask them to go and do the cooking, they can do the cooking, do the puja, they can do. Devotee are Daksha, they know, everything because, Krishna has empowered them to do everything. And number 26 is that devotees are also very, Mauni means they are very silent. Silent means does not mean they are not talking, they are talking, but when there is required to talk, they talk. When there is no requirement, they do not talk. So there was a parrot, was living in, one of the devotee, Ram devotee in Ayodhya. This man is a Ram, Lord Ram's devotee, is always chanting Ram, 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 Ram. And then the parrot also, learned this thing. The parrot also will, repeat, Ram, 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 Ram. So whenever he is repeating, whenever he is chanting Ram, you will tell the parrot, if you chant Ram's name, you get free from the prison of this material world. You chant Ram's name, you get free from the prison of the material world. And the parrot was thinking that I'm been put into the cage, I'm in the prison of this cage, but I'm chanting Ram's name, but I'm not getting out from this prison of the cage. So the parrot was very worried about his own situation. The guy who was chanting Ram's name, he said, by chanting Ram's name, you get out from the prison. I'm sitting in the cage inside for a long time. I'm not free from the cage. So one time the devotee told the parrot that I'm going to the next village, and there's one Swamiji has come to speak about Ramayanam for 3 days. I'm going to listen to the Ramayanam. So I won't be here for 3 days. Is there anything you need? The parrot says, when you go to the Swamiji, you please, ask the Swamiji that, tell the Swamiji, it is said in the Ramayana, anybody chants Ram's name, they get free from the prison house, but I'm sitting in the cage for a long time, I'm not getting any freedom. So I'm also chanting Ram's name. When can I get my freedom? Please ask the Swamiji. He said, okay, he went there for 3 days. After the Ramayanam of 3 days, he came back to the house. And then the parrot asked him, so did you spoke to the Swamiji? He said, yes. Did you ask the Swamiji when I will get free, out from this cage? And he says, I asked the Swamiji, one day, the Swamiji was very silent. He's not talking anything. He's not telling me anything. Asked him for the second day, he's very silent, never say anything. The third day, I asked him again, the parrot asked when he can get free from the cage. And Swamiji was very silent, he did not answer anything. So he didn't answer, he was silent only. So then the parrot, he collapsed, he fainted, And the devotee, he thought that the parrot was very, disturbed, very upset, affected because he didn't get the answer from the Swamiji. So he was worrying that, worried that whether the parrot died or what, So he opened the cage and then he took out the parrot, and then he put it on the floor. The parrot started to fly. And then he asked the parrot, how, I thought you died already. How you are able to fly? The parrot said, I learned one thing from the Swamiji. What is that? He said, Maunam, silence. He says all the time I'm chanting Ram's name, but as a parrot I'm also making all kinds of, noise here. I'm become a disturbance for everybody. So I realized that one of the quality for you to get free from the prison house is that you keep yourself silent. So out of the 26 quality, Maunam, silent, is one of the very important quality. Vacho vegam, manaso krodha vegam, jiva vegam, udara pasta vegam. Unless you control the pushes of the mind, pushes of the speech and belly and so on, otherwise you cannot become very successful in Krishna consciousness. The only way we've been talking is that you have to surrender to Krishna. The moment you keep your own independence and freedom, then you've been controlled by your own mind and senses. Then when you're controlled by your mind and senses, you have to back again to the material world. Better you surrender everything, Atmani Vedanam. Try to give yourself to Krishna. Prabhupada says one example of a rich man. A rich man, he learns shooting. He takes, pigeons, live pigeons, he takes it to the field. And then he throw the pigeon. When the pigeon started to fly, then the man will shoot, So one time he took 3 pigeons for shooting. So he put them in the cage and then he take out one pigeon, he throw the pigeon. When the pigeon started to fly, he took his gun and then pointed at the pigeon. And then he shot and then the pigeon got shot dead, A second pigeon he throw, also that pigeon started to fly, he got shot dead, Prabhupada said the third pigeon, he said he's a Hare Krishna pigeon, very intelligent pigeon. He noticed, the first pigeon he throws, trying to fly away, he got shot dead. Second pigeon trying to fly away from him, he got shot dead. the third pigeon thought, if I wanted to fly away from him, he will shoot me, die. He said, better I go and fall at his feet, Instead of flying up, the pigeon fall at his feet, and then he was not able to shoot. Prabhupada says, similarly, the living entities want freedom in the world. Krishna let you go free. Fly, everybody fly away from Krishna. But the Krishna devotee, very intelligent, if I fly away from Krishna, Maya will shoot me. Better I feel at the lotus feet of Krishna. And Krishna says, the only way you protect yourself, that, by surrendering unto him. In the chapter 18, text 54, Krishna explains, Chetasa sarva karmani mai sannyasi matparaha buddhi yogam upasita machittam tatatam bhava machita sarva durghani matprasada tarisyasi adachetum ahankara nasirosyasi na vinasyasi. In the chapter 18, text 57 and text 58, Krishna says that, my dear Arjuna, by always dependent on me in all your activities, and by always, keeping yourself under my protection, and always by being conscious of me, you will overcome the obstacles of life. But, due to your false ego, if you are not listening to me, you will be lost in the world. So only way for us to come out from the obstacle conditional life in the material world is that we always should keep ourselves under the protection of Krishna and always be dependent on Krishna in all our activities, and always be conscious of Krishna in everything. He said, easily overcome. And then he says, Swabhava jena kaunteya nibadya swana karmana kartum nesasi yenmohar karisyasi avasampitad. In the chapter 1860, Krishna says, my dear Arjun, according to the mode of nature, you're going to do the same thing. Out of ignorance, illusion, if you're not depending on me, you're not, putting yourself under my, protection, and, you're not conscious of me, but according to nature, you're going to be doing the same thing. You're going to put yourself under somebody's, protection. You're going to put yourself under somebody's dependent, and you're going to be conscious of everything else other than Krishna. If we are not conscious of Krishna, we are going to be conscious of something else. True or not? It's not, we are not going to think anything unless we are dead body. And one of the reporters asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, have you got lusty desire? Prabhupada said, I got lusty desire, but I have no time for it. So as long as you have got life in your body, that will be, demand of the senses. But here Krishna says, if you don't think of me, you're going to think something else in your life. If you don't depend on me, you're going to depend on somebody else. If you, don't put yourself under my protection, you're going to be under the protection of somebody else. Isvara sarva bhutanam radisu arjunati sati brahmayan sarva bhutani jantra rudhaya maya. Krishna says in chapter 1861, this body is the machine, and he is the director of the wandering of this machine. And 1862, Krishna said, Tameva saranam gacham sarva bhavena bharata tat prasadam param santim sthanam prapsayapi sasvatam. Arjuna, by surrendering unto me, tat prasadam param santim, that you will attain the greatest, peace and happiness in your life. So in this way that Krishna has given a wonderful path for us to follow. And throughout here, this subject matter we are reading, that, Lord Brahma is telling the demigod to surrender, that they go and surrender to somebody who can save their life. That is the only advice. And because they have offended the spiritual master, Indra has offended the spiritual master, and then they need a replacement now. And Brahma was telling, somebody who is very pure, you go and, take shelter of that person. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us, how to be humble in our life. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Varanasi, then he met, the Mayavadi sannyasis, and they were calling Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's a fool, he's a fool, he's a fool. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was invited to the Brahmana's house for lunch, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went there, then he saw all the Mayavadi sannyasis are sitting there, and everybody did not have a good opinion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because they thought Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like a sentiment, simply singing and dancing only and rolling on the ground. And sannyasi means he should be doing some other thing. And how come it's like a sentiment, just singing and dancing, So when he went there, he reluctant to go and sit, in the assembly of the Mayavadis. He wanted to teach them how you got to be humble in your life. So where he washed his feet, and then he sat beside the place where he has washed his feet. And the leader of the Mayavadi, Prakasananda Saraswati Maharaj, even on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, why you are sitting there, you come, And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Ami Hai Sampradaya. He said, I'm coming from a very low class, Sampradaya, and I'm not qualified to sit among all of you. And then, you are the, Jagat Guru, you are the Guru for the whole universe. I'm not even equal to the disciple of your disciples, In this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even though it is very, elevated, the topmost in the Vaishnava, practices, but Mahaprabhu show our devotees should be very humble all the time. Then, Prakasananda Saraswati Maharaj, he said, never mind, I want to ask you one thing. He said, Murka sannyasi nija dharma nahi jane, bahukera ayapera, bahukera sane. He says that, how come, you are like a fool, You're foolishly, you are singing and dancing all the time. Vedanta padava dhyanam sannyasere dharma, tara kara chahakere, bahukera karma. He says the real job of a sannyasi is to study the Vedanta. They should study the Vedas. Prabhu Dekhiya to me Sakshat Narayana. Although I look you are like same like a Narayana. You look like a Narayana, but why you are indulging into a low class work of singing and dancing? Are you a fool? And Mahaprabhu says, no, Prabhu kahi suna, Sri Pade iyare karana, Guru Murke Mukha, Dekhi Karila Sastra. He says, my dear Prakasananda Saraswati, my Guru told me the same thing. He called me a Murka, he called me a fool. He said, you're a fool, you cannot understand the Veda, so better you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Nama Venu Kale Kale Nahi Ara Dharma, Sarva Nama Sarva Mantra, Esastra Marma. My Guru Maharaj told me, within the Veda there is a hidden information is there, that in Kali Yuga there is no other practices of dharma. There is only one dharma available in Kali Yuga. That is to always chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. So chanting Hare Krishna mantra is very powerful. It's very, very powerful. Depends how nicely we are chanting the mantra. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu time, he had one of the follower by the name of Saranga Thakur. He's a very wonderful Vaishnava. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looking at Saranga Thakur, he's a very good Vaishnava, he's getting old, but he don't have a disciple. So Mahaprabhu was thinking, at least he should have some disciple who can take care of him at the old age. Mahaprabhu insisting him, telling him, oh, you should take a disciple, you should take a disciple. He said, I'm not qualified. Mahaprabhu said, at least you take one disciple. This is my order. So taking Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's order, he decided the next day morning, when he goes to take bath in the Ganga, and the morning, any first time he meets anybody, first person, he said, he will make him a disciple. So he go early morning, 4 o'clock, he goes to the Ganga to take bath. And he jumped in the Ganga swimming. Then while he was swimming, there was another body coming beside, touching his body. Then he pulled that body, then he thought, Mahaprabhu said, I must make one disciple, so this fellow is my disciple. He pulled that body, then he chanted into the ear, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. He did not realize that the body is a dead body is coming, It's a dead body. Somebody throws a dead body in the Ganga, and then he was floating it. When he pulled that dead body and chanted Hare Krishna, the dead body came back to life again. Then he comes as Murari Chaitanya. And Murari Chaitanya became very powerful. He goes to lion, he will sit on the lion, and then he will slap the lion and tell the lion, chant Hare Krishna. The lion will be chanting Hare Krishna, the snake will be chanting Hare Krishna. Only disciple for Saranga Thakur became very powerful by this Hare Krishna mantra. So chanting of Hare Krishna and the association of the devotees will give us very tremendous progress in our life. So we should be faithfully taking both of these things in our life. Chant your Hare Krishna very nicely and keep the association of the devotees always. You will see that Krishna consciousness is the ultimate peace and happiness for the world. So thank you so much for being here today. Anybody has got any questions or any doubts?
While performing devotion service, you said there are in different modes. Sometimes we can't see that we're under the modes.
Yeah.
So, what is the way to...
That is why you need the association, because most of the thing you won't be able to see yourself. You need another person to see you. You can stand in the mirror, you don't see everything of your body, but another person who's around you, he can see you. So chanting and practicing everything always must be in the association of the devotee, so that the devotees can tell you whether you are chanting properly, whether you are talking properly, whether you are acting properly. That is why you need to be in the association of the devotees all the time. When you are getting angry, sometimes we may not know that, unnecessarily you are getting angry, but the devotee may tell you, you are chanting Hare Krishna too long, so how come you cannot control your anger? So the devotee is the right people to correct you and put you into the right direction. So always keep in the association of a devotee. Anything else? Okay, thank you so much for being here. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Pramanande.